Hi, you're listening to the Rav Dessler Giving Podcast with me, Avram Ziedman. Join us as we weave together philosophy, psychology, and Kabbalah to uncover a new depth to what it means to being a giver. Now let's contrast being a giver or a taker vis-a-vis relationships. People say relationships are about give and take. Well, you can have one relationship which is about give and take, another relationship which is about take and give, another one which is about take and take, another one which is give and give. Based on the previous podcasts, we see that being a giver is an attitude, being a taker is an attitude. Let's take the scene. My wife makes these beautiful cranberry cookies, and it's understandable why I like the taste of them. My wife, I would say illogically, however, likes flowers. Why is it illogical? Well, first of all, they cost a fortune. Secondly, you can't eat them. And if you can't eat flowers, what's the point in them? Please, if anyone out there understands what the purpose of flowers are, email me at az@jgift.org. So let's look at a take-take relationship. I want my cookie. But I know that if I go home and say, Rivka, I want my cookie, it ain't going to end up so nice. So you know what? Got a great idea. I come home with a bunch of flowers and say, Rivka, I've been thinking about you so much. Here's a bunch of flowers. And she goes, "Aww, let me make a cookie for you." Yes. When I do that act of giving flowers, is that an act of giving? No. Why? Because it's absolutely motivated on cookie, cookie, cookie. And on the other side, she wants a bunch of flowers, but for some reason buying a bunch of flowers yourself just doesn't cut it. It's got to be that your husband buys them. So she wants a bunch of flowers and asking me straight out, will you buy me a bunch of flowers? It just doesn't go. So she bakes cookies, knowing that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And I walk home and I smell those cookies. Wow, those are great. And I quickly go and buy her a bunch of flowers, to which she goes, yes, success. So when she makes me those cookies, is that an act of giving? No, it's totally focused on the flowers. That is an act of taking. That relationship will function on a take-take basis. But you could have a relationship based on give and give. It doesn't mean that every time my wife gives me food, I say, oh, thank you so much. Well, I'm a giver, not a taker, so I can't possibly take that. So we just stuff it into the spare room. And then when I give my wife a present, she says, oh, thank you, but I'm a giver, not a taker. And we get stuffed into that room. And of course, throughout all those years of the marriage, that room is becoming more and more and more filled because no one refused to ever be able to take. Not that. Rather, the attitude. I love my wife. And for whatever illogical reason, she likes flowers. And therefore, I come home with a bunch of flowers. Rivka, I've been thinking about you. I know you like these flowers. Here are flowers. Let me just give a preemptive answer for those who might ask. I might know that I'm going to receive a cookie in return, but I'm not motivated on that. When I give the bunch of flowers, do I know that by giving the bunch of flowers, my wife might make me cookies or even definitely make me cookies? Yes, but that's not the reason why I'm giving it. I'm giving the flowers because I love my wife. And therefore, giving the bunch of flowers is an act of giving. And when my wife makes the cookies, knowing that her husband really should go on a diet, but when she makes me the cookies, she may very well know that she's going to receive a bunch of flowers in return. But if the reason why she's making the cookies is because she loves me and she wants to give me cookies, then that too is an act of giving. So we see that some acts of giving are giving and some acts of giving are motivated in taking and therefore taking. Both relationships of the giving and taking function, but they're in two different worlds. One relationship is in the world of the body and the other relationship is in the world of soul. Let me give an example. Imagine you have a couple which is going through a rough patch. Now, I just want to give a caveat straight away. Life is complicated, and I'm looking at this on a simplistic level just to be able to bring out the point. However, life is far more complicated than this. Okay, with that caveat, let's go back. You have this couple who are going through a difficult time, and they seek therapy. Now, imagine this couple can go to therapist A, and the reality of A or B. Here we go. The couple goes to A, and after 1 or 2 sessions, their relationship is amazing. They're both incredibly happy. Okay. Or they go to therapist B. And after 1 or 2 sessions, not much change. 3, 4, 5. After a long period of time, their relationship gets better and better and better. Which one is a success? Is it A or B? Now, you're thinking it must be a trick question because it can't be A because that's too obvious. It must be B. And the answer is correct. It is B. But why? Well, To answer this, we need to look into what was said in that counseling session. And unfortunately, I can't tell you because it was private. No, just kidding. All right. Counselor A says to the husband and wife, I want one of you just leave the room. Let's get the other one in here. Let's get the wife in. Okay, wife. What do you want to get out of this relationship? What do you mean? What do you want in this relationship? Tell me everything that you want in this relationship. Really? Everything. What you mean, including like picking up the socks on the floor? Everything. Okay. And she gets a pen and paper and she writes down all the things she wants in this relationship. And the counselor says, thank you very much. Please take a seat outside. Husband, come in. What do you want from this relationship? What do you mean? What do you want to get? What do you want to take out of this relationship? I don't know. Lots of things. Write it down. So he starts writing and writing and writing and writing and writing and writing. You got one paper? Just give me the whole pad, right? So he starts writing all the things that he wants. The counselor then brings them both into the room and says, I'm going to give you the keys to a happy marriage. Are you ready? Husband, you see this list of everything you want? You're going to get it. Wife, you see this list of everything that you want? You're going to get it. It's as simple as this. Husband, do all her requests. Wife, do all his requests. Done. If you do everything that she wants, she will do everything that you want. That relationship ends up happy. Both get everything they want. The only issue is that you have destroyed the entire concept of a relationship. Their entire relationship is based on take. Each views the other person as a means to getting what I want. There is no true love between them. It's more, you are here to serve me, and again, I'll pay for that by serving you. There's no real relationship connection between the two. Each is there serving as a function for the satisfaction of the other, but the marriage works. The other counselor, Counselor B, looks at one spouse and says, did you focus from their point of view? How do you think the other person felt? And says to the other one as well, how do you think they felt? And the second counselor is trying to work on each of them to be more focused on the other, to be more of a giver. And you know, we're natural born takers, because when we're born, we're just body. It's only as we mature, then our soul becomes part of us. And therefore, it's hard to become a giver. We need to work on ourselves becoming a giver. And therefore, through the process of the counseling sessions, they start changing and being more outwards orientated, which builds the relationship more and more. It's harder, because it's hard to being a giver. But what you have here at the end of the day is a true relationship. A relationship, each one focus on the other. Counselor A has destroyed the relationship. It is a relationship based on take and take. Counselor B has built a relationship based on give and give. Both may live lives happy, but one is animalistic and the other one is spiritual. Be great, be a giver, build relationships based on giving. This podcast was proudly brought to you by Gift, where we're on a mission to inspire and enable lifelong giving. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to continue exploring the art of giving with us, please subscribe.